No,
Peace, brother. How's it going?
all is well. All is well.
Are you able to get your
Oh,
camera on?
yeah. 1 second.
Sure,
Let
no
me,
worries.
there you go. Can
Yes,
you?
sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
And let me connect this Bluetooth headset as well so you can hear me a little bit better. 1 second.
I
All
can
right,
hear you
how's
just
that? Can you hear me? Mic check. Mic check.
Yeah, I can hear you just fine.
All right, perfect.
Man, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
All is well, brother. All is well, man.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah. So, kind of like how we've been talking earlier, we've been having a conversation ever since last year. My name is Tarami Reedus. I am a percussionist, a musician, specializing in African diasporic music and rhythms. I'm based in Houston, Texas, and I run a brand called Drumz Uhuru. And the premise and focus is to elevate, uplift, and inspire the voices of diasporans that are creating Afro folkloric music that are coming from those traditions and to create space and community amongst us to share our craft, hone our craft, and, just elevate our perspective in the music culture and in world culture because it's that important, it's that valuable. So, thank you for joining. I would like for you to just introduce yourself. Who are you? What do you do? And yeah, I would like to ask you some questions afterwards.
Absolutely. That was a beautiful introduction. Definitely,
Thank you.
definitely made me want to know more about what you got going on and well said, well put, and well purposed. So thank you. And thank you for having me. So my name is Frank Malloy IV. Um, my artist name is Frankie Malloy. Um, I am from New York City, by way of Charleston, South Carolina. I am a percussionist, a teacher, mentor, an author, composer, a DJ, a husband, a father, and just all around an artist. I'm also the co-founder of Wontanara Inc. It's a nonprofit holistic wellness and cultural arts center here in Atlanta, Georgia. We really believe in the power of the arts to heal, to uplift, and we really, really believe in the power of the arts to provide not just cultural understanding, but as well as just the holistic kind of approach and wellness for our youth as well as our seniors. I'm also the co-founder of Wontanara Percussions. It's a Black-owned instrument manufacturing business with locations in Guinea, West Africa, and soon to be Atlanta, Georgia. We specialize in making and manufacturing West African percussion, soon to be other styles of percussion as well. So we are very, very excited about that and very, very, yeah, we're going to enter into some other spaces and make it clear that we do not just do this style, just a little bit. But very, very, very excited. I'm where am I? I'm in Atlanta right now. So happy to be here. Thank you again for having me.
Man, that's great. That's fantastic. So, Frankie, how did you get started with the djembe? What was your introduction to djembe, to African diasporic folkloric music?
Yeah, so just like most people, it starts with the generations before me. So my initial introduction to djembe was through my father, who picked up the djembe through his own experiences as a young adult in West Africa. He became very compelled and moved by the drum as a whole, and then kind of gravitated towards the djembe in particular. So he was probably the first person to introduce the djembe drum to me. I heard it, of course, in the womb. And in addition to my father, I have many, many people who are in the generation and two generations, and even I can say three generations before me, as far as percussionists that were around who were very influential and helped to introduce me to the drum. Many people from New York who definitely put me on game, and that was kind of my introduction to the drum. That was my marriage and union with the drum. That's how we got started. That's how we started dating, if you will. So yeah, that was my initial introduction. Mhm.
Man, that's deep. That's beautiful. So, what was the moment that you realized that this was something that you wanted to do and dedicate your life to?
Um, I would say after high school, right after I graduated high school, I went to a performing arts high school in New York City called LaGuardia High School. They call it the Fame School. A lot of artists and popular actors, actresses, if you will, they've been through that school, been to that school. So um, after I graduated from that school, which definitely was as artsy as it seems, I was always performing and even touring through those years, but kind of when I became a young adult, I said, no, this is something I want to do for the rest of my life. And I can actually pinpoint a moment in particular. I went to Queens College shortly thereafter. I graduated from high school. I was in college, and I enjoyed college, but I also wanted kind of like some real, not that college is not real life. So forgive me if it sounds like that, but like some in the field is a better in the field experience. So this moment that I can pinpoint is when I decided to leave college and was like, I'm just going to figure this out, you know, and work and just get my experience and my knowledge and my information through life and through my community and my surroundings. And so shortly after I left college, an elder of mine started reaching out to me because he had a contract at the college I just left. And so I began to receive checks from that college. And so when that happened, I was really like, nah, I have to take this seriously professionally. So I'm very, very grateful to him. His name is Roderick Jackson. Roderick Jackson, he actually was the one that invited me to that school to play and make money from a place I just left. So I said, okay, yeah, I'm going to do this serious, take this even more serious than I already do.
Man, that's amazing. That's an amazing story. Um, I want to get into some of the work that you all are doing at Wontanara Percussions. You
Yeah,
and your wife. I
yeah,
understand that y'all just hosted a conference, and man,
yeah.
like just the build up to the conference, I was like, oh my god, it's gonna be amazing, incredible. Nothing like this has ever been done. Y'all are taking conferences, West African drum and dance conferences, to the next level, literally right before our eyes. So, can you talk about how that experience went? What you all's approach to it, just the whole nine.
Well, thank you for those kind words, brother. I appreciate that. I, anything in anything we do, our goal is to be the best representation of what we believe in. That's our goal. So our goal is never like to be the best, period, or to be better, period, or to design something that's changing anything. Our goal and our essence and our mission is always to be the representation of what we believe in and what we live. You get what I'm saying? So that's how our most recent conference came to be. That's how our business came to be. It's just a commitment and a forward-facing demonstration of what we believe in. So, really, our idea for that was just what are the areas of our lives that are important to us. You know, you and I, we've connected before in different spaces where we talk business, we talk artists, we just all of the different aspects that come along with being an artist, if you will, or with being in the culture, if you will. So our mission for this one was to say, okay, let's really highlight those areas. What is it? Let's name it. Okay, business, very important for both of us. And my wife in particular, who helped me elevate my business, she came from just a pure, she's an artist as well, but her main focus is kind of like the behind the scenes, administrative business things that she's like, okay, so we both agree business is important for us. And myself as an entrepreneur, I'm like, well, you got to know something about business in order to last. So we're like, okay, business. After that, we're like, okay, what else is important to us? Health and wellness. And I know that's kind of like a buzzword and umbrella term because there's so many different ways you could go with that. Because movement and rhythm is about health and wellness. You get what I'm saying? But so our whole, no matter what we do, it's about health and wellness. But we also really wanted to highlight some of the other different ways and areas that you can attend to your health, to your spiritual health, to your mental well-being, to your physical well-being. Dance, yes, all of that does that. Drumming, all of that does that. But also yoga, also meditation. Also, these types of things can help to even partner with the other things that people may do to assist in creating that elevation in those areas. So, and definitely another part of that was the entrepreneurship tech. We like, okay, we're really into tech. We're really into recording. We're really into different areas. So, and again, tech is another buzzword. There are many tech, whatever conferences, whatever. I forgot the other word. Tech. It doesn't matter. You know, places where people go to learn about tech. So, but in particular, we were like, we need to have some sort of recording representation. And in previous times, I've been the one to teach, but also we wanted to bring in some people who are actual engineers. You know, I'm not an engineer. I can engineer. I do engineer, but I'm not by trade and engineer. So let's bring in someone who's by trade and engineer who can help to teach people the tools and give people the tools and the resources to understand that side of artistry. You get what I'm saying? And then the last part was definitely our sisters, our women. Women are true pillars of our community and all that we do. And they actually are the fuel and the heartbeat and really what drives us, you know. I know it's sensitive, brothers. We don't want to admit it. Even me, myself, I fought my wife for like the first 2 years, like, no, I'm a man. And she's like, nah, B, I got you. You know, you got me, but I also got you. You know what I mean? So, and anyway, definitely wanted to highlight our sisters, our women, our leaders who are in those respective fields from business to tech to health and wellness to, of course, dance and movement. So that's really what that was about. And we were very excited about putting this one together and bringing it forth. And we're very fortunate with the new design that we took on to attract the attention of some sponsors and partners such as Uber, excuse me, such as Southwest, such as we had our first official hotel, which was very exciting, and definitely Truist Bank. Truist Bank was another supporter, as well as the mayor's office, Atlanta Mayor's Office of Cultural Affairs. And we did even have the mayor of South Fulton attend the conference as well and show his support. And so we were very happy, excited, and fortunate with all of this.
That's amazing. That's beautiful. Oh my goodness. So exciting. So exciting. Okay. So switching gears back to you and your journey and your story. What are some of your goals, aspirations as a musician and cultural worker? And what do you want to be your legacy?
I want my legacy to be that I came in this world that changed the way we approach what we do. I think everybody has done that in some regard, but I want that to, in particular, to be my legacy. That the moment I came around and the moment I left, that people can say how we do it is not the same. What we do and when we do and how we approach what we do is not the same. And I pray that it never will be the same. In hopes that not to shake things up in a negative way, but more so to move it forward. I really hope that that's something people take away from what I've contributed to this art form, to this culture. The way that I see that happening is through the conference, of course, but also through conversations like this. You know, my wife and I, we joked a lot about how not in the same position I was many years ago as the young emerging artist. That era of my life is finished. And so, you know, many people who are in my era and older, they struggle with knowing what to do and how to transition into what's next for them. And so the way that I also see me making that happen is hopefully by impacting the generations behind me and saying, this is what, like I was impacted, this is the way that we can go. This is the way that I did it. This is what you can take from it. This is what you don't need to take from it, whatever they choose. But in hopes that through conversations, I call a lot of younger generations, musicians, text like what we got, what we working on, what we need, and so I just pray that through those types of interactions, through our Black-owned manufacturing, through our conference, and through my own music and sound and decisions and moves, that will be my legacy as a whole, that things were never the same after I came around.
Man.
And sorry, and not for my own good, but for the greater good of our community, things were never the same. How we get our wealth, how we attain wealth, how we work our contracts, how we connect with people I don't want it to ever be the same. I want it to be bigger and better than all of us.
Beautifully said. Beautifully said. Beautifully said.
Thank you. Thank you.
So with that, what have been some of the biggest lessons that you've learned in your journey so far?
One is that it's not about me. I think many times as an artist, artists can, in many cases, be synonymous with ego. And so, or it comes along with having an ego. And so one of the things, a big, big lesson I've learned is that you can play, I can play, I can do whatever, I can be the best of the best, the cream, the whatever, whatever's the term you describe to be the best. But it's really not about me and what I do. It's about what I can do to contribute to, like I said, this community, this common goal that is greater than myself. That was I won't say it was a hard lesson, but it was definitely a shocking lesson, because my initial thoughts as an artist was, I'm coming in, I'm going to make dope music, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And I never made those exact statements, but definitely in what I did and how I moved, I thought I was the one, but it's really, we are the one. And so that was a big lesson for me. Another big lesson I've learned is that in similar ways, that is really, most of what we do is really not about how well you drum. Is about it's not. You need study and you need talent. So I'm gonna give my third lesson, okay? But my second one is not all about how well we drum. There are so many drummers, so many artists, so many I'll call them practitioners of these instruments, who are in very, very good positions. Even people who don't play these instruments, classical musicians, they may not be the most well-trained, but they have great relationships. They have incredible, healthy business practices. They make very good investments, financial decisions. They have support. They have mentors. They have all these different tools that can help to fill in the areas where the skill may not be as grand, or you get what I'm saying? So that was a big lesson for me, is that as we should, I spent a lot of years developing one area of my craft, but the other areas can help to create just as many open doors, because let's say you're in a space where they don't know anything about the drum. They know nothing about the djembe, let's say, and you're in this space. People are not judging you off of what you play, or whether you know a rhythm, or whether you know the history. You should be able to communicate it and share it. And you yourself, well, let me not say you. I want to know it, and I've always put myself in position to receive the knowledge, to know it. But I've been in many spaces where that's not what they're interested in. They're interested in, was I on time? How did I communicate? What sort of verbiage did I use when I spoke about my drum, and what type of setup and miking I need? They care about how I made the people feel. You get what I'm saying? Versus what is the history? Now, this brings me to my third lesson that I've learned. Study, 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 study. Because the second thing I just said is important. But this third thing, in terms of being being a cultural representative, is that I cannot be out here just doing and saying and playing whatever, because that is not the root of what we do. That is not the essence of who we are. Our people, our ancestors, they didn't just do just because. They may have done things that were natural and became a part of our daily lives, but there's always a reason. There's always a connection. There's always a meaning behind something. There's always history behind something. So having that understanding, that knowledge, that information, it helps to create a round and a strong foundation for which, when put with the other things like the business things, it creates a beautiful, well-rounded artist. But the information for me is something that, let's say early on, I learned the information because of my environment and who I was around. But in young adulthood, I'm like seeking the information. You get what I'm saying? Like there's versus I just happen to receive it or I ask a question or somebody tells me or this and that. Now, and like I said, in my early adulthood, it's like, all right, what's this? Tell me the reason for this. What's this? What's this part? Okay, how they play it over here? Why they play it over? Because that information is very, very important. I want us all to be great, strong cultural representation. So I see many people who drum very well, who may not have the other areas, and I see many people who drum and know information. I see people who don't know information who have the other areas. So I'm like, my third lesson is combine them all and be well rounded. So those are my three very, very important lessons that I've learned.
Man, that's high value right there.
Thank you.
Yes,
Yeah,
indeed.
we got you.
So my next question is, I honestly kind of touching on your third lesson. What is Djembe Fola? What does that term mean? And what makes somebody a Djembe Fola?
A Djembe Fola is a carrier, a protector, and reserver is not the word, but someone who reserves, protects, and carries the information of the djembe. Their sole purpose is to play the djembe, is to carry the information, and to feed the community with the djembe. They fuel themselves with this drum, and therefore they fuel those around them with the drum. So they commit their life to the drum. The same way you say someone is a karate master, it's that level and that a level of intention behind the word and that level of study behind the word and that level of expectation behind and responsibility behind the word. They carry the secrets, the information, and the knowledge of the djembe, and they use the understanding and the craft of the drum to uplift, to unite, and to fuel the greater community. That's the djembe fola. That's the main responsibilities of the djembe fola. Understand, carry, protect, unite, uplift, and heal. And those things come in many forms, but in traditional setting, it's through ceremony, it's through building the drum, knowing that whatever it is you have. But now it's a lot more responsibility in today's world. But again, carry, uplift, unite, those types of things are what a djembe fola is about and the responsibilities of a djembe fola.
Is it more responsibility because of, the access to teachers, the access to authentic information? And if that is the case, how can people who may be able to play, may have chops, but may not necessarily be in a community where there are, I guess, cornucopias of information or access to authentic information and teachers, what would you propose them to do to get connected to deepen their studies?
Yeah. So let me make sure I understand your question. You're saying like for someone who's like in a smaller town or may not have access to certain things, what can they do to attain the information? Is that
Yeah,
what you're
and
asking?
then
Okay.
and the second part is
Mm-hmm.
why do you what makes you say that it's harder these days to be an authentic Djembe Fola?
Oh yeah. Okay, so I'll answer the second part first. So I say it's harder and there's more responsibility because I think you said this just now that there's access to so much information. So like you can put it's a blessing. YouTube and things are a blessing, but you can put something in YouTube, let's say a rhythm you heard and you ask the name and you put that in YouTube and you may watch 50 videos of misrepresentation or of the rhythm. You get what I'm saying? So now you not you, but someone may have just watched these videos, all these videos, and think that they have learned all there is to learn about the rhythm. And so they may carry that information with them that's not the best representation. Now, am I the sole judge and decision maker? What's the best representation? Absolutely not. I can't sit here and be like, that's wrong, that's right, that's true, that's not true, because I know that people have learned different things. I can only share what I've learned, and I can only share what I know to be true through those who have taught me. But however, let's say it's a rhythm from, we'll keep it simple. Let's say it's a rhythm from Guinea, and somebody walks out with a djembe and says, this is Nigerian, uh, this is a traditional Nigerian 6/8 djembe rhythm. And now someone who does not have access to proper, and I know that's an extreme example, but I'm just, who does not have access to the information, they walk out and they're on YouTube and they're like, wow. So now they're in their community saying this is a traditional Nigerian 6/8 djembe rhythm. And, just kind of teaching that and rolling with that. So that's why I say it's harder because more information is great, but correct information or true information, I'll say, or accurate information, or a full range and variety of information is the part that where it's kind of difficult. And so what I recommend to the person who may be in the smaller city is the same tool they would use to find the rhythm, find an elder. That's the same thing. So the same tool you use to find the rhythm, find the elder, find the people who are around, who are in the community. They travel a lot. They're around a lot, and they are accessible via internet. They may have a representative or somebody that you can call, but reach out to those people. Say, hello, I'm so and so, and I'm really very interested in Djembe. Will you ever be in, let's say the person lives in Connecticut, right? A little ways from New York, but then that's on them to say, okay, I'm going to make the drive to the bigger city that's close by, save some money, and make the 4 hour drive because the master may not be in my city exact, but there's a city 4 hours away where I can travel to meet them there to get the information. You get what I'm saying? When they're in town. So things of that sort. I recommend utilizing today's tools to attain access to the information. Yeah,
Man, that's wisdom right there. Use the tools. Yes, sir. That's powerful.
we got them.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so my next question is there a spirituality to Djembe? And what is or has been your experience with that?
Mm. Uh, yeah, 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 yeah. Well, is there? Do you see? Okay, I'll ask you a question real quick to tie into my answer. Do you see spirituality in your daily life?
Absolutely.
Okay, so then my answer to the question, I'll give a surface level, and then I'll give a more, a deeper answer. Yes, because most traditional African spiritualities deal with nature. So the idea that the drum itself comes from nature, and the very thing that fuels most spiritualities is nature itself, then yes, the drum automatically is spiritual. There's spirituality in the drum because there was a all these things. I say this a lot, but everything that contributes to the drum is at some point is living, and some will say it's still living through from the goat skin or calf skin or cow skin or mule skin or deer skin or whatever buffalo skin you put on the drum. This is a living, breathing being that whose life was given to fuel this drum and comes from nature and ecosystem. Same for the wood. Trees are living. Trees are so full of life that they give us life. Go figure that. Trees are so full of life that they give the top of the food chain. They give us life. So yes, there is a spirit and spirituality in the drum because again, it's a part of nature. So when you use the tools of nature, you are also incorporating a spirit. And once you do so, and you play the drum and you are practicing, you now have a spiritual practice when you're playing the drum. You get what I'm saying?
Man,
So, and my deeper answer is to,
we could hold that one. We could hold that one.
okay, I was
Yeah,
going to
that
say,
was
just travel. Everybody just travel and you'll find the deeper answer to that.
man. That's great. That's great. Who are some of your let's see, who are some of your favorite Djembe followers currently
Uh,
or past?
um, I have many. I have many. And all of them have influenced me for a different reason. So I'll list them and I'll say the reason as to why. And there are many that are African American or born in the US, and there are many that are born on the continent. And I'm not saying this list to be divisive. I'm just giving a list so that I can be clear on where they come from and how they influence me. So, as far as my US brothers and elders, I'll start first with actually
Oh, we got the
drum.
list on deck.
We have tools and instruments that represent them. So this is,
Yes.
but the list is always on deck. This drum, I don't know if you can see, is
Mhm.
it belonged to one of my favorite djembe fullers. His name is Ade Love. Adewale Love. Incredible, masterful musician. His impact. First of all, he's just a giant of a spirit, just enormous spirit, and he passed away. Um, and was it 2 years ago now? Just over a year ago. I think October last year, and he had an enormous impact on my life as a kid because he was he was overweight, big gentleman, right? Um, but the hands was like Floyd Mayweather. You know what I mean? Like it's like how's he doing that? And his phrasing, his phrasing, and his fearlessness are two things that I took away. Like he played the drum like just free, and because he was free, he didn't care what was going on. He knew he was going to play, and his phrasing and his fearlessness definitely impacted me. Like, man, how do you think to put those two phrases together? Like, who would do such a thing? And so I keep his drum with me, definitely, and I will never give this drum up, ever. I keep it with me. It needs to be redone. The rings are a little bit bigger and need to be sized down a little bit. That's a detailed thing, but I still won't get rid of the drum. Um, Another Djembe Fola that had a huge impact on my life would be Ayanda Clark, Chief Ayanda Clark. Um, he comes from an incredible family. His father is Chief Baba Neil Clark. They're actually their entire family is amazing. They're practitioners, they're artists, they're just grand people, and like I would go as far as to say elder legends in my circle. I don't care what anybody said, they're legends in my community. You know what I'm saying? And so Baba Yanda is he went to school at I want to say UMass, University of Massachusetts. I want to say somewhere out there, and got his degree as an ethnomusicologist. And so his understanding of music, his musicality, is something that definitely impacted me. He can play many instruments, and his approach to music was always so unique. And I remember watching him um, younger, like, okay, all right, okay. So it's definitely something that I won't say I tried to emulate. It's just something that became so a part of my approach to my music, like musicality, being a well-rounded musician and feeding that into the music is definitely something that he did. And you can hear it in his playing that he knows other styles of music. You definitely can hear it. I'm almost done. Another influence would be Roger Jackson. Roger Jackson is somebody who I talked about earlier. Roger, he'll tell you himself he's not a Djembe Fola. He'll tell you, but I'm going to add him on the list anyway because he would not. Um, he's not. He, he ain't got hands like that, and he knows that. But Roger, he taught me how to play by myself, and he taught me how to play for in dance settings. So he would create sounds and be playing the drum, and it would fill up the room so much you'd think that other people playing. You get what I'm saying? He had all kind of sounds and this and that and little tricks and stuff that would fill it up. Was he gonna go in there and Manjani you to death like with the riffs? Absolutely not. And he knew that. He himself knows this. But he really taught me how to play by myself. Definitely like you're gonna fill up this music and you can play accompaniment. And he taught me how to increase the level of dexterity, my level of dexterity in terms of okay, this is going on over here. What's happening over here? And is really going to make the music sound full. And he definitely played for dancers, and he was very smart businessman. Who, for example, he had a camp, and they wanted him to come. Basically, he got paid double. He taught the dance classes, and he wasn't no dancer like that. And then he would sit down and drum for the students while they danced what he just taught. So he got double paid because of that. I was like, that's how we roll. That's how we roll. Why not market yourself in that regard? So, um, few
Yeah.
more,
Well,
and then
Frankie, we got like almost a minute left.
Oh, okay,
So
it's almost our time. Okay,
yeah, I wanna thank you
Tony
for your
Bambuda,
time.
Bolokana, and I'm out. Mama Diketa. I'm out.
Bola Kada, Mama DK. Okay, word.
Yeah,
Man, Frankie, this was amazing. This was epic. This was such a high value. How can people learn more about you, get in touch with you, support you?
yeah. Holla at me on Wontanara Percussions, Wontanara Percussions, on Instagram as well as Facebook. And let's tap in and get to know each other and build. Let's build.
Let's do it. Let's build. Thank you so much, Frankie. Enjoy
Thank
your day,
you.
man.
All right, blessings.